Hey, how's it going? So what kind of wood is Diggler going to play with today? Well, today I'm actually super excited about the material that I've got. I've got some 8/4 black Limba. I've always wanted to make a cutting board with this because I think it'll look really cool as an end grain cutting board. So, yeah, let's make an end grain cutting board with it. Let's get busy. So this is probably going to be one of the easiest end grain cutting boards that you'll ever make if you decide to make one of these. I've taken these two pieces that are the exact same length and I have ripped them to 5.5 inches each, totaling 11 inches wide for the end result. Now for the very first glue up, all it is just glue with roller in the 4-way pressure clamps, and then I'll let the pieces sit for a full week before I do anything with it. I mean, I will remove it out of the clamps beforehand, but I won't do any flattening or anything till the glue fully cures. Before I do my initial flatten on the CNC, I like to take a chisel and remove all of the excess glue. It keeps your bits on the CNC sharper longer if you do that, as the glue is harder than the wood. Now to fasten it to the CNC, I like to use tape with CA glue and then some accelerator. And by the way, if you haven't seen the video on how I make my own CA glue accelerator, there'll be a link in the top right hand corner to that video. Check it out. It'll save you a ton of money versus buying it from the store. I think now is a good time to mention, if you haven't subscribed, please do. It would mean a lot to me. Now it's time for the CNC to do its magic and flatten the board. If you don't have a CNC machine, you can always use a router sled to get it nice and flat on one side. Here's something new I'm trying for the very first time. Rather than using pencil to mark lines on your workpiece for sanding, I've tried sidewalk chalk, and the results are amazing. Way cheaper, and it really works good. Trust me on this one. Not to mention you can get it in a ton of colors, and it's super cheap from like Walmart or maybe even the dollar store. That I'm not sure of though. So here you're going to see me do the cross cut for the final glue up. Now on the cross cut, you want your thickness or the width of the cross cut to be a little bit higher than the thickness of your final board, if that makes sense. So for example, this board that I'm making, I kind of want to be close to 1 3/4 inch thick cutting board, so I'm going to cross cut them at about 1 7/8. You'll also see me put numbers on the pieces before I cut them, and that way it has a reference of where I am going to line them up. You're going to see that here right now. You'll see all the numbers on it. I'll flip it all over to the end grain and then choose how I'm going to have it orientated before I do my final glue up on it. Here's something else you want to keep in mind. When you're doing your final glue up after you've done your cross cuts, do it almost right away. Right after you get your cross cuts done, get the glue up done as soon as you can. The other thing I do, again, like I did right at the beginning, is after every glue up, I like to let it sit for a full week before I do any kind of flattening. This way, if there's moisture, or there will be moisture in the glue no matter what, it's going to have a chance to fully evaporate. So any little bit of twisting that's going to happen within that wood will come out, and it'll be nice and dry at the end of the week. If you haven't clicked on the little thumbs up button, please do. It does help my channel grow. And again, I like to use 4-way pressure clamps. This way it acts, or it does have cauls on it to keep it nice and flat. And then I'll also use some sort of another clamp to align the pieces along the edge so that nothing shifts, and I have the center where I want it, and I've got all my flowing lines where I want it. You'll see here in a second what I mean. So what's your preferred thickness on a cutting board? Do me a favor, leave me a comment down below. I'd love to know what you guys think on your cutting board thicknesses. Now it's back to the CNC machine for the final flatten. And again, I use CA glue on tape, and then I hit the opposite piece of tape where there's no CA glue. I'll hit that with accelerator and stick it down. And again, I do have a video, you'll see a link in the top right hand corner, on how to make your own accelerator. I'm also going to leave a link in the top right hand corner for a geometric end grain cutting board that I made. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I also like to use the CNC machine to router in handles on both sides. End grain or edge grain cutting boards, which do you prefer to make and why? Leave me a comment down below. Let the debate begin. Now, the best part of the build, sanding. Well, no, not really, I'm only kidding. I'm going to start with 120 grit sandpaper. I'm going to mark the board with chalk, the sidewalk chalk that I mentioned earlier, and then I'm going to sand it. Once the sidewalk chalk is gone, you'll know that you can switch grits. And for sanding the handles, I like to use an angle drill with a 2-inch foam pad and 3-inch round pieces of sandpaper. This way it curls up onto the edges nicely and does a really good job on getting it nice and smooth. So off camera, I raised the grain and sanded it one more time before doing this mineral oil dip. Now, it is actually time for my favorite part of it, and that's to see what it looks like when I put the mineral oil on top of it. Watch the grain come to life. Check that out. Doesn't that look fantastic? So a while back I made a brick end grain cutting board. I'll leave a link in the top right hand corner. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Now I had let it set overnight with some mineral oil and beeswax. Now I'm just going to buff it off. Then I'm going to put 1 foot in each corner. And here you go, it's finally done. And man, I love this wood. It looks fantastic and pretty easy build, but boy, it sure looks like a fantastic piece. Until next time, Diggler out.